Hello and welcome to Stories Behind the Songs. I'm your host, Jim Tompkins, and in each episode I tell the fascinating backstory behind some of rock and roll's most iconic tracks. Today's song is Free Man in Paris by Joni Mitchell. Free Man in Paris was the third single released from the Court and Spark album. It's one of Joni's most popular songs and a very complex song musically. And it's a song that tells a story about one of the most famous characters in American music history. The story starts in January of 1974. When Joni released her sixth studio album, Court and Spark. The second single from the album was Help Me, which was a big hit, peaking at number 7 on the Hot 100. The third and final single from Court and Spark was Free Man in Paris. The Court and Spark album would be the commercial zenith for Joni, and it was an interesting fusion of folk, pop, and jazz. For this album, she went beyond the typical folk rock and rock studio musicians famous in the Southern California music scene. Instead, she connected with the LA Express, a jazz fusion group, who helped her find the sound she wanted. Musicians like Tony Scott, guitarists Larry Carlton and Jose Feliciano, and bass player Wilton Felder joined the team to help Joni paint the musical canvas she was aiming for. Joni said, "I had no choice but to go with jazz musicians. I tried to play with all the rock bands that were the usual sections for James Taylor when we made our transition from folk to folk rock. They couldn't play my music because it's so eccentric. They would try, but the straight-ahead 2/4 rock and roll running through would steamroller right over it." As for Puerto Rican guitar legend Jose Feliciano, he was recording with John Lennon in a neighboring studio when he heard strains of Free Man in Paris. "I already knew Joni from when we both worked in Canada," he explained. "So I walked in and said I thought I could play some good electric guitar for it. The great guitarist Larry Carlton of the LA Express was already on the track, but I knew I could hold my own with him. Joni didn't try to direct me at all, just let me do what I do, and it turned out really good." As for the backing vocals, Joni pulled in David Crosby and Graham Nash to help out. The finished product was Mitchell's most commercially successful album. Help Me was the big hit on the album, but it was Free Man in Paris with its intriguing lyrics that told the most interesting story. In the song, she says that, "I was a free man in Paris," and also includes the phrase, "he said" in the first line. So clearly she's not talking about herself, but singing from a male perspective. But who is she talking about? That person would be David Geffen, the founder and president of Asylum Records. His meteoric rise in the music business had started as a mailroom clerk, to successful rock star agent, to founding Asylum. Joni had met Geffen in Los Angeles in 1967, while she was trying to land a record contract through her manager, Elliot Roberts, who was also a friend of Geffen's. The two became friends, and in 1972 she signed a contract with Geffen's new label, Asylum Records. Starting with 1972's For the Roses, all of Mitchell's studio albums until 1994 would be released by one of Geffen's labels. Before Free Man in Paris was written, Joni and Geffen, along with Robbie Robertson of the band and his wife, had taken a vacation to Paris. It was during that time in Paris that Geffen confided to her about the stresses of his work and how he felt free in Paris. It was the one place he could be without feeling the overwhelming pressure of running a superstar record label.
The way I see it, he said, you just can't win it. Everybody's in it for their own gain. You can't please them all.
"I wrote that in Paris for David Geffen," she explained, taking a lot of it from the things he said. "People assume everything I write is autobiographical," Mitchell explained. "If I sing in the first person, they assume it's all about me. With a song like Free Man in Paris, they attribute almost every word of the song to my personal life, somehow missing the setups of he said and she said." Free Man in Paris beautifully contrasts the lightness of being on that holiday with the heaviness of his day job. It's in this contrast that she intertwines an upbeat piece of music with the difficulties of Geffen's responsibilities.
I was a free man in Paris. I felt unfettered and alive. There was nobody calling me up for favors.
Listening to the song and paying attention to the lyrics, one can almost feel the freedom of Geffen strolling the streets of Paris and hanging out in cafes. It's a testament to Joni's songwriting that she manages to capture that mood perfectly.
I deal in dreamers and telephone screamers. Lately I wonder what I do it for. If I had my way, I just want...
Interestingly, after the success of Help Me, Joni actually wanted to release Car on a Hill as the next single, but Asylum fought her on it and wanted Free Man in Paris. Ironically, David Geffen was against it. He didn't like it at the time, Joni said. "He begged me to take it off the record. I think he felt uncomfortable being shown in that light. Released as a single in July 1974, Free Man in Paris made its chart run, peaking at number 22 on the Hot 100 in September 1974. On the adult contemporary chart, it peaked at number 2. The song that blocked it from number 1 was Olivia Newton-John's I Honestly Love You. Free Man in Paris, one of Joni Mitchell's greatest songs, is about a man she was extremely close with. A man who felt immense stress at founding and running his own record label. A man that would go on to found Geffen Records and DreamWorks SKG. Today, his net worth is estimated at over $9 billion. Free Man in Paris is a timeless song and a unique example of a singer writing a hit song about a music industry executive and the pressures he faced. A man she had a close relationship with, and a man who would go on to become one of the most powerful figures in the entertainment industry. Ultimately, in Free Man in Paris, she grounds Geffen's grand position with something people can relate to: the need to escape the extreme pressures of work and life. That wraps up the story behind Free Man in Paris by Joni Mitchell. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll be back soon with another story behind a great rock and roll song.